When you wake up in the morning, the first moment you become aware, that flicker of consciousness as your eyes open, is a sacred opportunity. It is easy to overlook. Most people rush past it. They grab their phone, they remember something stressful, or they instantly begin worrying about the day ahead. But that moment, right there at the beginning, holds the power to shape everything that follows. And that is why you must remind yourself, deeply and sincerely, that you are grateful to be alive. This simple thought is not just a motivational phrase. It is a deep recognition. Life did not have to give you another day. Many people went to sleep last night and did not wake up. Many are breathing right now but are suffering through pain, crisis, or loss. But you are here, you are breathing. You have another chance to see the sky, to feel the earth under your feet, to speak, to think, to grow. And if you truly understand this, you cannot start the day with complaint. You cannot begin it with negativity. Gratitude lifts you above that. What is gratitude really? It is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is not about forcing yourself to smile when things are hard. It is simply about realizing what you do have, rather than what you don't. It is the ability to focus on the presence of life, not the absence of comfort. And when you say to yourself, "I am grateful to be alive," you begin to shift your energy. You're telling your mind, today is a gift, not a burden. This shift changes how you walk into the world. If you begin your morning by honoring the fact that you are alive, it creates a stillness inside you. And from that stillness, calm decisions can arise. It becomes easier to handle setbacks, to appreciate small joys, to stay grounded in moments of stress. Gratitude is not something you feel only when things go well. In fact, its true power is revealed when things do not go well, but you remain thankful anyway. That morning recognition of life is a spiritual practice. It reconnects you with something larger than your to-do list. It reminds you that you are part of something greater than your problems. Imagine what your day would look like if every thought, every step, every interaction began from a place of thank you. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this chance. Thank you for this life. Some may say they have nothing to be thankful for because they are facing pain, loneliness, or uncertainty. But even in those moments, the ability to feel, to think, to reflect, these are all signs that life is still working with you, not against you. The seed of change lives in your awareness, and awareness begins with appreciation. This is why it's so important to not rush your mornings. Don't just wake up and go. Sit up, breathe slowly, and make space for silence. Place your feet on the floor with intention. Feel the ground. Let yourself truly arrive in the day. Then, with complete presence, say to yourself, "I am grateful to be alive." Let those words carry weight. Let them echo inside you. Speak them not just with your mouth, but with your attention. If you repeat them each day, not like a habit but like a ceremony, you'll find that your heart softens. Your vision clears, and your energy aligns with peace. Gratitude makes you more resilient. When you are thankful for life, it becomes harder to be disturbed by small things. You begin to move with clarity, not reaction. You stop chasing and start noticing. You shift from surviving to living. And all of that begins in the quiet of the morning, in the first few minutes where your mind is untouched by the noise of the world. So every morning, before the day pulls you in 100 directions, return to the center. Return to that first thought. You are alive, and that is everything. When you open your eyes each morning, you are not just waking up to the outside world. You are waking up to your inner world as well. Your thoughts begin to move. Your mind starts to spin its stories, its patterns, its expectations. Some of those thoughts may be empowering, while others may be filled with doubt, fear, or old habits you've carried for years. This is why, as early as possible in the day, you must remind yourself, your mind is your most powerful tool. Not your phone, not your schedule, not even your body. It is your mind that shapes how you experience everything else. And if you don't take care of it, if you don't guide it, it will run wild. It will pull you into anxiety, distraction, and reaction. It will carry you far from where you actually want to go. The mind is a landscape filled with voices. Some are your own. Others are echoes of the past. Voices from people who doubted you, shaped you, or hurt you. But you must not let those voices dictate who you are today. Just because a thought arises in your head doesn't mean it is true. Not every thought is your teacher. Some are simply habits, repeating over and over again because you've allowed them to. When you remind yourself that your mind is your tool, you shift the power back into your hands. You become the one who decides what to hold and what to release. It's not about fighting your mind or forcing it into silence. That would only create more struggle. It's about observing it calmly, without judgment. It's about becoming familiar with its patterns so they no longer control you. Each morning, when your thoughts begin to stir, notice them. Don't chase them. Just observe. See which thoughts try to pull your attention. Are they useful? Are they helpful? Are they true? If not, let them pass. Like clouds drifting across the sky, they don't need to stay unless you invite them in. When you recognize the mind as a tool, you also understand that it must be sharpened. A dull tool is dangerous. It cannot cut through confusion. It gets stuck. And so each day, a small practice is required, whether it is a few minutes of stillness, a breath of silence, or simply the choice to speak kindly to yourself. These are not luxuries. These are disciplines. They are acts of inner alignment, and without them the mind becomes cluttered, reactive, easily distracted by every noise and impulse. Think of how often the mind tells you that you are not enough, that you must hurry, that you are falling behind, that someone else is doing better. These are not facts, they are learned voices, and if you listen to them without question, they shape your emotions. They shape your decisions, they shape your life. But when you stand back and see the mind for what it is, a powerful, neutral force, you learn to train it instead of being trained by it. Training the mind is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. Just as a gardener tends to the soil each day, you must tend to your mental environment. What kind of seeds are you planting? Seeds of fear, of judgment, or seeds of strength, compassion, and clarity? The morning is your starting ground. If you begin with awareness, the rest of the day unfolds with more balance. If you begin in chaos, you will carry that chaos with you, no matter how organized your schedule appears. When you say to yourself, "My mind is my most powerful tool," you are not just affirming an idea, you are accepting responsibility. Responsibility for how you respond to challenges, responsibility for what you allow in, responsibility for how you speak to yourself. This is not about controlling everything. It's about choosing what you focus on and how you carry yourself through whatever comes. So don't wait for calmness to arrive from the outside. Don't expect the world to quiet down for you to find peace. Begin each day by aligning the tool that determines everything else. Your mind. Use it wisely, use it gently, but above all, use it with awareness. That is the key. Every morning, as you prepare to meet the day, there is a subtle but powerful truth you must carry with you. You are responsible for your energy. Not just your words, not just your actions, but the invisible force behind them. The energy you bring into a space, into a conversation, into your thoughts. This is what truly defines how you experience your life and how others experience you. And this is not something outside your control. It is yours to manage, to shape, and to protect. When the world around you is fast, loud, and unpredictable, it is tempting to let external conditions dictate your internal state. Someone speaks to you harshly, and you carry that weight. A plan goes wrong, and your peace crumbles. But the deeper truth is that the situation didn't cause your reaction. Your energy did. If your energy is scattered, agitated, or low, even the smallest challenge feels overwhelming. But when your energy is grounded and clear, even the biggest storm can pass without shaking your foundation. That is why you must remind yourself, each morning before the world places its demands on you, that your inner state matters more than any outer circumstance. You are not responsible for what others say or do. You are not responsible for what happens around you. But you are responsible for how you show up, for the tone you set, for the space you carry within you, and for the way your energy influences your choices and your surroundings. Energy is not some mystical force. It's the quality of your presence. It's the attention behind your words. It's the patience behind your listening. It's the quiet strength behind your decisions. And the way you begin your day sets the direction for that energy. If you start the morning rushed, already reacting, already thinking about everything that might go wrong, then you're giving your power away before the day even begins. But if you take a moment to be still, to breathe, to gather yourself intentionally, you anchor your energy. You prepare yourself not just to do things, but to do them with clarity, with control, and with presence. Many people carry the energy of yesterday into today. They wake up still heavy with yesterday's emotions, regrets, or frustrations. But you are not yesterday. You are not the mistakes, the conflicts, or the missed opportunities. Each morning is a reset, but only if you choose to take it. Let go of what you cannot change. Don't let old energy build into today's reality. Begin fresh. Begin with awareness. Begin with a decision that you will be in charge of how you feel, how you move, and what you give your attention to. Sometimes you will walk into situations that try to drain your energy. People will complain, the environment will be tense, or things simply won't go your way. In these moments, your responsibility is not to control everything. It is to remain in command of yourself. Ask, what energy am I contributing right now? Is it calm? Is it kind? Is it clear? Or am I letting the external storm become my internal weather? You have the ability to shift energy, both your own and that of others. A peaceful mind can calm a room. A grounded presence can dissolve conflict. A genuine smile can lift someone from their shadow. But you cannot offer what you have not cultivated. That's why managing your energy is not just self-care. It's a form of service. When you protect your energy, you are protecting your ability to help, to lead, and to bring balance wherever you go. This responsibility is not a burden. It is an honor. It means that no matter how chaotic the world becomes, you have a choice. You can choose to bring clarity into confusion. You can choose to bring light into heaviness. You can choose to carry yourself in such a way that your presence becomes a steady flame, even when the wind blows strong. So, before the day pulls you in all directions, take that quiet moment to come back to yourself. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Check in with your emotions. Choose the energy you wish to bring. Set it like an intention, not just in your mind, but in how you carry your shoulders, how you speak, how you listen, and how you walk into every situation. Because when you truly understand that your energy is your responsibility, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop blaming and start creating. And from that place, your life begins to move with more grace, more clarity, and more purpose. Every morning when you wake up, there is a quiet moment before the noise of the day begins, before messages appear on your phone, before responsibilities pull your attention, before the world starts to speak. In that silence, you have the chance to decide what this day will mean to you. Not in theory, not in some distant future, but right now. And in that stillness, it's essential to tell yourself, I will not waste this day. Because this day, this one right here, will never come again. Once it passes, it is gone forever. The moments you choose to spend in distraction, in hesitation, in dwelling on things you cannot change, they don't come back. Time is not a river you can step into twice. It moves only in one direction, and that makes every single day precious beyond measure. Every morning, you must understand this truth and allow it to awaken something deep inside you. The urgency to live with presence, the discipline to act with purpose, and the courage to value your time as sacred. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for motivation, waiting for clarity. But life is not found in the waiting. Life happens in the doing, in the deciding, in the willingness to show up even when things are uncertain. If you wait for the perfect time to begin, you may never begin at all. So instead, you must choose to begin today. Not next week, not when you feel ready, but now, this morning, this moment. It's easy to fall into the habit of thinking that there will always be more time. That one missed day doesn't matter. But these small decisions, how you spend your mornings, what you focus on, what you choose to ignore, these choices add up. They form your path, and before you know it, you look back and realize you weren't really living. You were postponing life in small increments, telling yourself you'd be more present later.
But later doesn't belong to you, only now does. Living fully doesn't mean rushing. It doesn't mean filling every second with activity.
It means being intentional. If you choose to rest, rest fully without guilt. If you choose to work, work with focus without complaining. If you speak to someone, speak with your full attention. That is how you stop wasting your days, not by doing more, but by doing things with awareness, with care, and with commitment. You must also be mindful of what consumes your time and your attention. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every voice needs to be listened to. Not every distraction deserves your engagement. The more conscious you are of what you allow into your day, the more control you reclaim over your life.
Attention is one of your most valuable resources. Protect it. Spend it wisely. Don't give it away to things that drain you or lead you nowhere.
This awareness also means recognizing your own patterns. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? Where am I hesitating?
Which fears are keeping me from showing up fully today? Because often it is not the world that holds us back. It is ourselves. It is our excuses, our comfort zones, our fear of discomfort or failure. But no growth ever happens in the familiar. No great story begins with someone staying where they were safe. The day you begin to act despite your fear is the day your life begins to shift. You may not be able to change everything in a single day, but you can move forward. You can take one honest step. You can bring your full self into this moment, and that is enough. The momentum of a meaningful life is built on small, consistent choices on the decision each day to not let this one pass by unnoticed. So each morning, remind yourself with calm determination, this day matters, not because something grand might happen, but because you are here for it. You are breathing, you are capable, and you have the power to make this day count, not in how much you do, but in how deeply you live. Because when you no longer take a single day for granted, your life begins to change, not in giant leaps, but in the steady rhythm of awareness, effort, and gratitude. Each morning offers you a choice not about what the world will bring, but about how you will meet it. And one of the most important choices you can make, right at the start of your day, is to affirm gently but firmly, peace begins with me. Not after everything is solved, not after everyone else behaves better, not when your plans go smoothly. Peace begins within you, in the way you breathe, in the way you think, and in the way you carry yourself through the world. It's easy to think that peace is something you must search for.
that it is hidden somewhere in a place you haven't reached yet, or waiting behind the next goal, the next relationship, the next accomplishment. But peace is not something to be found, it is something to be practiced. It doesn't come from having a perfect life. It comes from having a steady center, and that center must be built and rebuilt every day, especially in the small and quiet moments. When you wake up, your mind is still soft from sleep, still untouched by the noise of the world. This is the most powerful moment to plant the seed of peace. Before the distractions come, before the challenges unfold, before you interact with others, you have the chance to set the tone. Not just for your mood, but for your whole presence. If your inner world is calm, even storms outside cannot shake you. But if your inner world is chaotic, even the smallest thing can throw you off balance. That is why peace must begin with you. It is not a reward for good circumstances. It is the foundation you choose to build regardless of what circumstances appear. And you build it through awareness, through your breath, through the way you respond to your own thoughts. When a negative emotion arises, anxiety, irritation, fear, don't resist it, and don't react to it immediately. Pause, observe, breathe. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. The ability to create space between a stimulus and your response is one of the most powerful tools you have. In that space, peace is preserved. Many people believe peace is passive, that to be peaceful means to avoid conflict, to retreat from intensity, or to keep silent. But real peace is not passive. It's not about avoidance. It's about strength. It's the strength to not let others' chaos become your own. It's the courage to remain grounded when others are reactive. It's the clarity to choose understanding over judgment. And this strength can only come from within. When you say peace begins with me, you are taking responsibility, not just for how you feel, but for how your presence influences the world around you. Your energy is contagious. If you walk into a room with calmness, you can shift the atmosphere. If you speak with compassion, you can lower defenses. If you listen with patience, you create safety. These are not dramatic gestures, but they are deeply powerful. They come from choosing to be a source of peace instead of a consumer of conflict. This choice is especially important when dealing with others. You cannot control what people say to you. You cannot control whether they act with kindness or with frustration. But you can choose to not absorb their tension. You can meet their energy with stillness. And even if your voice is steady and your silence is kind, you have already changed the dynamic. Not because you forced them to change, but because you chose not to mirror their imbalance. That is what it means to protect your peace, not by isolating yourself, but by remaining internally untouchable even when surrounded by tension. There will be days when this feels difficult, days when your patience runs low, days when emotions flare up. This is natural, you are human, but each time you return to your breath, each time you choose awareness over reaction, each time you soften instead of hardening, you are training peace. It is not about being perfect, it is about being committed. A peaceful life is the result of thousands of quiet, invisible decisions made again and again. So as the sun rises and the world begins to move around you, remember, peace is not somewhere far away. It's already within you, waiting to be chosen. And when you choose it in the morning, you carry it with you through the rest of the day, not just for yourself, but for everyone whose path crosses yours.